We are back in the tiny house. The drills and the tools are coming out, guys. We're gonna do a little home renovation. We are back in the tiny house. Cleaning up. Adam is painting. We had someone come and do a walkthrough. Well, Adam did. Well, I was sick because he is the best. And she really likes the house. She was actually going to be using the same builder and everything when she was going to be building her own. But an issue with tiny living is knowing where to park. And our tiny house is in a very ideal situation. So she's like, I think I would just rather buy your house because it's very kind of similar to what she was already going to be building. And so we're really hoping that everything goes through smoothly, just to give you an update on the tiny house goodness. And now we are, I know you're probably like, how long does it take to do stuff at a tiny house? Well, when you live 45 minutes away, you both work full time, got sick, tried to travel for just like 4 days, and then got sick for 21 days. It's not as easy as we had hoped. But we are painting, actually, while Adam is painting and also caulking our door. He was just adding some fresh caulk and everything, and he is painting our door inside and outside. I am going to be doing some like nook and cranny cleaning. I'm kind of doing the bathroom at the moment, using some Windex and some other cleaner stuff, and everything is pretty much mostly cleaned out. We're going to be leaving some stuff here for people that live on, people that didn't live on a septic before probably like to have. So those are some bits that we'll be leaving with them, some stuff we may take, still figuring out certain things. But yeah, guys, I always wonder how I'm going to feel, honestly, when I come back in here, especially like I haven't even been here in almost a month. Actually, I think it might have been a month because we went on vacation and then I got sick for 21 days. So it's so interesting. Like, it feels smaller when there's no furniture in it, honestly. This is our upstairs bedroom. It feels so much smaller. And now that I've had my king size bed for, not even that long since, I've had a queen size bed for freaking ever. Like even before we went tiny. This space now feels so small for 2 adults. And Penny and Cooper would sleep here in their beds, because the bed just kind of went to like maybe there-ish. And then they had theirs. It feels smaller. And I've always thought that anytime like I've been to another tiny house where maybe the house has been moved, the lot always feels smaller. So it's just so crazy how much a tiny space can be filled but not feel too cramped or anything. And it's so interesting that once you remove stuff, it feels even smaller. But I find that about regular size houses too. Like when we would look at empty houses versus houses that had furniture in them or were staged, the houses that didn't have anything in them, it did feel smaller. It's so wild how the mind works like that. But in this space, it's even more so. I'm like, wow. But I can also see it in my mind the way it had been the past 4 years, where I knew where everything was. I knew where the couch was. I knew where my beauty room, how the layout was and everything. It's so interesting to see. Like, I lived 4 years in this small space, but it didn't feel, it felt small, don't get me wrong, but it feels even smaller now. So yeah, back to work. I'm noticing some dust up there, so maybe that's kind of where I'll go next. Just trying to get an idea of what to do, because I've kind of done a lot last time I was here, and it's all still looking pretty nice. So I'm a very nostalgic person. I'm actually standing up in our bedroom right now, if you're wondering where I'm at and how I have this so close to me. Cleaning off the back end of the ceiling over here. I'm a very nostalgic person, and I keep thinking, like, what will I miss the most about living tiny? And I think there are aspects that I will miss. Obviously, other than the less expensive way of living, especially as everything's getting more and more pricey. I feel like some may be thinking I'm leaving tiny house living maybe at the wrong time, which I'm sure there's some truth to that. But I also am very grateful for this time to have lived so small. And I think some of the stuff I'll miss, even though a lot happened during this time when I lived here that was very life-changing. Like, I moved here and then immediately found out I was pretty sick, had to have a total hysterectomy at 35 years old. And then immediately after that, the pandemic hit and I got on hormone replacement therapy while the crazy world was in lockdown and so many things were happening over these past few years. So really, I didn't leave this tiny house for quite some time there, for a bit in the middle between having surgery, major surgery, and then the world locking us down, and we were, homebound so much. So I feel like even though we, in some ways, I feel only did it for 4 years, it feels so much longer, but also it doesn't feel in a lifetime, 4 years is that long. But I will miss, I don't know, I'm not very much of a live in a rural area kind of person. But during the pandemic, when a lot of stuff was unknown and a little crazy, maybe there was some comfort in that and some quiet that can happen out here in a more non-city lifestyle. I always love remembering too all of the good memories Adam and I made in our tiny house, even during all that chaos and very difficult times. I'm so proud of how close Adam and I have grown together and how we faced certain obstacles together. Because living tiny, even though if it may be more affordable during a pandemic or whatever, it's it can be really taxing on each other and on individual feelings and all those things. So I'm really proud of how we grew together during that time. And trust me, it wasn't easy being oh, okay, well now you're in a small space together, you have to. No, there was a lot that went involved. So I'm really proud of us. Need another napkin. I also noticed something else when I was pulling in here. You get, is it called muscle memory? When you do something for so long. I pulled in here and I immediately started doing what I've done for 4 years, where you come in, you know where to pull over, we have a gate that we have to manually open, and then go back in, move things around. So it was just one of those things where I feel like I'm still learning what my new things are at our new house. Whereas here, it still feels very familiar, so it probably feels more comfortable when you still know what my daily routine looked like here. I don't have a daily routine yet at the house. Being sick for 3 weeks didn't help. I know I keep bringing that up, but that has definitely set me back. A huge wasp has gotten in here. Or is it a yellow jacket? I don't know what it is, but it's huge. Can you see him right there? Oh gosh, he's so big. Adam has this cracked right now. Sort of closed, but it's because he's painting and things are drying right now. So now he's got in, but he doesn't know how to get out. And he cornered me for a second, and I don't know how to help him out. Oh boy, I'm just looking for anything now. I'm like, is that a bug? Is that a bug? Oh gosh. Hopefully if I leave him alone, he'll leave me alone. Adam's going to get paint and grab us some lunch. Just gonna plan to work here for a couple of hours. He's gonna keep painting. I'm gonna keep cleaning. Oh shit, it's back. He is stuck and I don't know how to get him out. Oh shit, here he comes again. Where'd he go? He keeps clinging to that window, but it's got a screen on it, so I can't get him out that way. I wonder if he came in through these, because Adam had this pretty closed, so man, he's big. Yikes. Okay, I think my talking keeps bringing it over here, so I'm just gonna maybe watch a YouTube video. I think Adam left his headphones, so I think I'll just do that, and maybe he'll leave me alone, and maybe by the time Adam gets back, he can fly out. Ooh, didn't work. I just ran into my forehead when I was doing something, so I'm hiding. I'm hiding. I don't know where it is. I wish it would just fly out. Where are you? Maybe he flew out. I can't find him now. I came in here to see where he went, but they're big, but they're small. He was hiding up here earlier, so now I didn't even see him coming, and he slammed into my forehead. So I'm just like, where are you? I don't want to get stung. I just got off a month of being sick. I don't want to be stung. Okay, that's a little fly that I was trying to get out earlier anyway. I opened the door up more, even though that might, I know we're trying to keep his caulk bug free, but I don't want to get stung. Ah, I have to be honest too, because I feel like I'm sitting on my side of the bed right now. Like that's Adam's side. This was my side. Although when we first moved here, that was my side. This was his side. But once I had surgery and I needed quicker access to be able to get downstairs after surgery, we switched sides and I just kind of like stuck to this side. Sides aside. I think it's perspective too of like, I always thought I had so, like, I guess after a while, I thought, wow, I have so much room up here. And I know if you, I mean, obviously most of you don't live in a tiny house. Maybe all of you don't. So you're like, how could you ever consider that like a bedroom style, like a lot of room? Well, perspective is everything. And like this, I mean, was where I lived for 4 years. So just to kind of give you like an insight of what is it like to, like if I were to come up here, I was obviously there was a mattress. We had a TV right here. The kids' beds were here. We had art there, which I don't even have any art yet at my new house. I still need to start doing some art. This just always felt like, okay, I have enough room to breathe. I always loved our gable house roofs, gable ceilings. I can't remember what they call these, but these are specialty to our builder. So it never felt like it was too short in here. I always felt like I had plenty of headroom, even with the mattress, because at first we had such a short, thin mattress because we thought, oh no, with the ceiling, it's going to be too close to us. I'm going to hit my head or I'm going to feel claustrophobic. Even when we changed out our thin mattress to a thicker normal one for after my surgery, because I needed something more to heal and stuff, because I was going to be bedridden for a while. No, I never hit my head. I mean, you saw me standing next to it, so that's why I was up against it, but I was standing. So like just sitting here, plenty of room. I do miss our lights, our, what do you want to call those? Inset lights. I do kind of miss that because a lot of homes for some reason just don't build lights with built-in lighting. So you just have like a fan or like a boob light. So I got to get rid of the one boob light left in my new house. But I always felt like this was, you know, well, at least after, I don't know what I thought at first. I probably thought, okay, this is efficient, knowing that I was going tiny. But yeah, I was like, this is so much room. Adam has all that room. Now I have a king size bed and I'm like, man, no wonder we were always hot when we'd be sleeping, because we're so close to each other, you know, like perspective changes. But I always felt like this was a lot of room for my bedroom. Well, not always. I guess, I mean, depends on what's going on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Tell you what I don't miss is people coming up to the gate and gawking at the tiny house, because people would act like it was a zoo or a sideshow, and people would come up. I'd be working outside on my deck, or I would just be in here with the dogs, and they'd start howling and barking because someone was outside taking pictures of our house. Like, get out of their car to stand on the grass area to get a better picture of my house. Yeah, hated that. It's like, it's almost like living in a star home when you're not a star, you're not a celebrity, they're just taking pictures of your house. So I don't even know how many people's pictures I'm in of them just taking pictures of my tiny house. I won't miss that. Yeah. Some days you just, or when I would be outside trying to shoot video for like Cupshe when I'm in a swimsuit or something, and all of a sudden someone comes up and starts taking pictures while I was feeling a little narcissistic as it was in a bikini or swimsuit out on my deck trying to get some video footage for an upcoming video. It was just like, no, I don't like it. I think I forgot to say I will also miss having a water view outside our bedroom. Are you ready, Cooper? Is this your new Betsy? Are you the happiest? You getting a new bed? Let's try to put this together. Oh boy, I could do it. I could do it. Pretty easy. that bad? The drills and the tools are coming out, guys. We're gonna do a little home renovation. All this to get a ceiling fan in the bedroom. You guys, every time my dad tries to put a ceiling fan in, and he is like the king of being able to do handy things, yeah, all of them always have some special issue. Apparently there is a metal box up there that we cannot get a drill through no matter what we do. You guys, my dad is in town to help us with house things, and he has done so many ceiling fans for us since Adam and I got together, whether we were dating, engaged, or married. And every time he's had to install a ceiling fan, there's always a problem. And it's like one of the most straightforward things that I've got like friends and family that are always like, oh yeah, ceiling fan's no big deal. Metal box. A metal box is up in the ceiling, so he can't get past it to put in a ceiling fan. So I'm getting rid of the boob lights. The boob lights are going. So right now, this is what we're dealing with. Got it all prepped, got it open, and he is drilled so far into this metal box and you can't get up there. So he's like, oh no, what's up there? And he went up there to find out. And it's just too solid. We don't know what it is. So, well, we know it's a metal box and it's not like anything that you shouldn't be able to drill into, but why is it metal and why is it so hard to get through? We don't know. So now we're changing the plan up. Thanks, Dad. Okay, it is day 2 of planned home upgrades, sort of renovations. Yesterday was the ceiling fans, and today my dad, who is super handy, has built so many things, retired from as being a lineman for, I don't know, 40 years almost, is running electric for us today to give us lighting in the garage. So there's a lot of rewiring and it's just become a mess, but he is figuring it all out because he's the best. And then we're hopefully gonna get electric to our outside shed. Don't know if this is all gonna happen today though, which was the plan because things have gone awry, but day 2 of Home Upgrade Chronicles. Good job, Dad.
Wow. That's the perfect amount of light.
Up early. We're up early. And today's project is we have 2-prong outlets. We need them to be grounded. So that's what's going on today. I really don't know if we're on day 4 or 5. This has been a long week. All right, you guys, today is it. This is going to be one of the last times Adam and I come in here for a final clean out and walkthrough before the new owner takes possession soon. It just feels so weird and wild to be at this point, even though it's been something we've been working towards for so long now. We've actually met with so many people to purchase our tiny house, and we weren't sure who was going to end up being the buyer after a while there, but we now have a very nice lady who is very excited to purchase and now live in the tiny house, and she's already named it, which is super sweet because I always struggled, honestly, to come up with a name for the tiny house. Adam and I couldn't agree on a name, so it just kind of never had a name with us, and the fact that she knew what she wanted to call this house right away, it just kind of felt very serendipitous that it was meant to be for her. So it's kind of like the passing of the torch, passing of the tiny house. And Adam and I have just been kind of reminiscing through our drive down here and while doing a clean out of memories, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now and kind of just saying our final goodbyes. Okay, so homeowner setback. Today has not gone as well as the montage I may have shown you before about my dad coming out and helping with lighting and things like that, getting electric to our garage. There was always setbacks on those days, but dad was here to, help problem solve it. And today is homeowner life, having to deal with, servicemen, installers. Last weekend, over Labor Day weekend, we finally decided to start investing in the house with some bigger appliances because we have finally sold our tiny house. So it was super exciting, and it was Labor Day sales going on. So we bought a fridge and a dishwasher because, not just because we were like, oh yay, let's just upgrade, because this fabulous-ish fridge here, this doesn't work. This is all a joke. This doesn't work. Half of the things in the doors are broken. The drawers are broken. It's not very functional. The freezer is very narrow and tiny. Also, again, the ice maker doesn't work, so it's just eating up room. A lot of that stuff in there is broken, all the things. And the dishwasher broke and started leaking like within weeks, days, months, I can't remember, after we just bought this house. So we were like, oh no, well, we knew we were going to upgrade those anyway. Okay, fine. Servicemen come out today. Do you see a new fridge? Do you see a dishwasher anywhere? No, you don't. Both have to be rescheduled. The fridge apparently doesn't have a shut-off water valve behind it, so they were like, we can't install it without that, so we'll have to, the servicemen always want to leave the product with you, and the place you buy things from, like Home Depot, says, no, always reject it because your 48 hours immediately starts. So if anything wrong happens, you only have 48 hours to reject it. If it's not hooked up, you can't do it. So I was like, okay, we got to do that. They didn't like that answer. They didn't want it back on their truck, all the things. But the dishwasher absolutely had the shut off water valve. So I was like, great, this should work great. They got so far with it, and then they couldn't get it to fit. We already knew we would be redoing these fabulous cabinets eventually at some point, but apparently because of the heat here in Florida and moisture, I'm sure from the previous derelict dishwasher, I don't know, it's expanded. The walls, this is so gross under here, the walls have expanded, and you can see where they were like hitting up against it. So, and yeah, they did not do the floors properly. So these were already going to come up anyway. This is a long haul process, guys. It's not a fabulous, overnight sensation. Cooper has a lot of feelings about what's going on too, as you can see. Hi, big boy. So I'm now like, well, what do I do about this if it's not going to fit, if it's a standard size dishwasher? And you know what they said? Things a new homeowner never wants to hear. Just get a contractor. It's like, no, all you hear is dollars, clinging, bank, empty, those things. So I was like, well, what about a handyman? And the guy was like, I am supposed to tell you a contractor, but honestly, I just bought a house 5 months ago. Call a handyman. You never know what kind of tricks they're going to have. So I just messaged the handyman, and I'm hopeful that I sent them pictures. They'll be able to be like, okay, we can do something. Cause I'm like, this doesn't need to be beautiful. This doesn't need to be the most gorgeous feature of our house where the dishwasher is. We just need it functional until down the road we can upgrade these cabinets. So if my dad were here, I feel like he'd be able to do this himself, and I'd be saving money on all of it. Somehow we've got to shave down the sides of this cabinet. Again, these are old, so I'm not too worried about it, but it's like, what do we do? I don't even care if they have to replace this whole thing, but I'm like, how do we do it? Homeowner update, same day. If you can't do it and your dad's not in town, you get a good handyman that you can trust, and hopefully he's going to be able to do some modifications to our cabinets today, since I told him we're probably going to be doing more to our cabinets in the future anyway. They just need to function and it needs to last. He's like, I can do that for you. So fingers crossed. Ashley Furniture, you were supposed to be here between 11:30 and 3:30. They gave us a 2-minute call about 30 minutes ago. and it is getting a text. Absolutely not even 11:30 yet. It is close to 11:30 now finally, but we got the old couch out for now. But that was a feat, and we thought we had 2 minutes before they were showing up, so it's been a very stressful Saturday morning for us for this delivery. And the plumber who is supposed for the fridge is not coming now till Monday. Update. It's a couple hours later because I've spent a couple hours on the phone. Yes, the phone. I got good news and bad news. Which would you like first? You want the good news first? Okay, I'll give you the good news first. The good news is we have a refrigerator and it is plugged in. Oh, Penny thinks I'm talking to Daddy. I'm talking to our friends. It has worked well. That was like a non-issue. The last clip I think I filmed was me showing you guys the dishwasher was, fitting in the spot, but I was nervous just because I was like, oh goodness, I hope it's gonna work. Y'all, it didn't work. Not because it didn't fit into the cabinet. I am talking. You're a little dramatic, Coop. You being a little dramatic? I was nervous, and it didn't work. Why did the dishwasher not work? Because the man who came to install the appliances didn't know how to install this dishwasher because we have a small hot water heater also under our sink. We have a big hot water heater in our garage, but this one is specifically for our kitchen, just so that way it's faster, it's hotter for dishes. Like, it's been a non-issue until today. Oh my goodness, because Cooper is just having himself a fit, if you can hear the grunting and groaning. Because they couldn't make it work. Well, the gentleman couldn't work, and he didn't speak, he didn't really speak English very well. And he was trying to do translator on his phone to explain things to me. And then he called his office to have somebody else explain it. And I'm like, no, I already understand. He doesn't know how to do it. But I'm telling you, it's doable. But he convinced his boss that we needed a plumber to come out to add another water spigot. And I'm like, no, there's enough water spigots. And he just kept pointing, going, I don't know how to put these together. Like, I can't do this. And so I finally ended up just having to sign for the fridge, not the dishwasher, called Home Depot back, got a hold of their offices to be like, hey, I need to explain to somebody what's going on, because at this point in your system, you think I need a plumber back out here for a second time, because then we're going to have to go on round 3 of installing this dishwasher. When reality is the dishwasher, there was a dishwasher there before. The last people that were hooking up the dishwasher had it all hooked up and ready to go. The only reason it wasn't delivered was because it couldn't fit into the cabinet, because these are old cabinets. I've just bought an older home. We got updates to do, step at a time kind of thing. I spend an hour on the phone explaining this to our Home Depot rep or whomever, and he goes, okay. And then he breaks it down for me, back to me, and he goes, okay, I understand. Let me call that man's office supervisor, not to get him in trouble, but to he's looking at the notes, and he's like, none of this is in the notes, Nicole. It just says you need a plumber. He couldn't do the work because he didn't understand how to hook up the dishwasher to the hot water heater, which was just a different connection. And I didn't know how to do it because I don't know either, but I expected the person installing the dishwasher to know how to do it. Called Adam, Like, I'm trying to, like, I had like two different phones in my hand at one point, and 4 people talking on all the phones, trying to coordinate and help this poor guy out. Long story long, now a plumber is going to be coming out to install and hook up my dishwasher in 2 days. I will be so appreciative of this being done, even more so now because of this process. Look a wreck today too, you guys. And I have a huge breakout here. But yeah, I'm gonna be really grateful when this is done. I feel like I'm not even like too excited about the fridge right now, which I am so excited for and grateful for, but it's because it's now still overshadowed that we're still washing dishes by hand because this poor guy couldn't figure out, and literally the guy was like, it could have been installed today. Now that I understand what you're telling me, he just didn't understand what to do with this small hot water heater that's under your sink, and he just didn't, for him it was too complicated. So now I get to do round 3 with this dishwasher. I'm gonna be so excited to not wash dishes by hand. It's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna be able to have a manicure again because having to wash dishes by hand has totally wrecked my manicure. Small price to pay, I know, but yeah. So that's where I left you guys off because I just couldn't anymore, and I had to spend over an hour on the phone with Home Depot to then coordinate with the installers. So buy a house, they said. It'll be fun, they said. So the good news is we have a new refrigerator. Super exciting. The bad news, no dishwasher. And it's because the poor guy did not understand how those spigots are supposed to work with a small hot water heater. He just couldn't figure it out. And honestly, he didn't spend much time doing it. It wasn't straightforward. So he was like, nope, I'm out. Okay, I just watched that clip back and you're like, but Nicole, you said you don't need a plumber. Why is there a plumber coming out? Okay, this is where it gets even more complicated. So I'm going to take you down here. You ready to watch it with me? Are you bored yet? Okay. This is where the dishwasher will go. Don't look at where the nasty floor just ends and it's subfloor. That's old because all that's going to be handled and managed. Don't look at that. Okay, I'm taking you down here. This is our fabulous small mini hot water heater that goes to our kitchen, and it is fabulous. It just makes life so much easier and things heat up so quickly, all the things. There is a water valve back here that is got 2 parts to it, and it's perfect for what we have set up for. The gentleman who came to deliver this didn't know how to do it. So more than likely, somebody else coming to just install appliances could also get confused. The first guys that tried to come out to install our dishwasher did know how to do it because they saw the previous hookups and knew how to do it. This guy came into a big hole in our counters, so he looked at this and said, it's not straightforward. I think you need a plumber because I don't know how to do this. So really the plumber is just coming out because he knows how to hook up hose to hose, hose to hook up, and they have a little bit more knowledge in that field. So it's not because they need to add more, likely, but if they do think they need to make an adjustment or change something, they could, but more than likely they're going to see this and make far more better heads or tails of it than somebody who would normally install a fridge, a microwave, and a dishwasher, all of the things. If it's not straightforward, doesn't sound like some of the techs would know what to do. So that's the only reason we're having a plumber out. And I know that can be confusing because I've spent hours today wading through all of this. So if you're still here during this and you're like, girl, this sounds way too complicated, and you just be glad that if your house doesn't have that problem, we're good. But homeowner life, hot water heaters, it's a good time. We'll get through it. It'll happen. So I was thinking I would record Adam's first impressions of seeing our fridge, now that we have a fridge here. That's beautiful and big and everything he wants because he's the chef of the house. But it may now be overshadowed by today's chaos and lack of dishwasher. So we shall see. Maybe I'll feel it out a little bit. Oh yeah, and then this is our HelloFresh. You may have seen that in the background. And no, this is not sponsored by HelloFresh at all, but HelloFresh. Congratulations. You have now won an opportunity to sponsor a Nicole Fisher video. So reach out to me. I have something to show you. Oh.
Damn. It's like the one at the tiny house, but better.
But better.
2 doors.
And the lower freezer with actually an ice maker.
Be on my shares.
Hello, friends. I am sitting here trying to actually put together the pieces for this vlog, get it prepped to edit. And I just got a phone call. So this is in real time. I don't know if this is going to be able to fit into this vlog or if it's going to need to go into a future vlog, but it is when I am editing it. And I just got a call from the plumber / installer that they're like, hey, would you like your stuff to be done today? And I was like, is this the plumber? Don't mess with my emotions. Don't mess with my feelings. And he goes, yep, I could come and do it today. I could be there, within this window of time. And I was like, okay, the hard part is I have to leave for a meeting later in the day. Would you be able to tell me close to about what time you could be here? And he goes, tell you what, I'll just show up in the next 30 to 20 minutes. And I was like, okay. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. This is delivery. This is delivery try number 3. So I'm not going to get too excited. I'm going to just let the play develop and see if this gentleman named Andy can install my dishwasher and hook it up to my hot water heater. Because apparently this is the saga that never ends. Let's find out. This is the song that doesn't end, but it may end soon. So the gentleman showed up, big smiles on his face, really nice gentleman, and he's like, okay, I'm here, where's the dishwasher? And I'm like, you're supposed to have the dishwasher. So he thought the unit was here. Home Depot told me not to keep it here. It's been a whole back and forth situation. But the gentleman, he is a plumber, so he came in, he looked, and he's like, okay, this is all already set up. So you were right. The company, the guy that was here yesterday just didn't know what he was doing. He gets on the phone with his boss. He tells him, hey, could you just add this one thing, a little valve, so that way the dishwasher and the sink can be independent of each other, and then their corporate will be happy that he's come out to do something. And now the gentleman's coming back tomorrow with the dishwasher to install. So it'll be attempt 4 tomorrow. I mean, what is the saying? Nothing worth having is easy. So, not washing dishes by hand will be worth it. It'll be so much sweeter after this whole long saga. But yeah, this is the unglamorous, unsexy part about homeowner life that's not a fast fix, but it will get done. It will. That's really the reason I'm kind of doing these vlogs too, is it's kind of like, I feel like it's really easy on Instagram Reels and TikToks to be like, I'm going to do a snap and everything is going to be done. Like, no, there's a lot behind the scenes. It's way more authentic to the real life. And a lot of you guys I know could resonate with that. So that's kind of why I'm giving you the dirty details. Okay, so to be continued. Shh, it's okay. Okay, so we are on delivery possibility, I'll call it, part 4, because this is the 4th time they have tried to deliver this. And again, because of my hot water heater down here, even though we have a big one in the garage, we have another one for the kitchen specifically, so it heats up faster. It's just all here, doesn't pull from the other unit. He needs a different valve. So he's running to Home Depot. He's left all of his stuff here, so at least there's not going to be a 5th delivery, but he had to stop work, even though we thought he had the correct part yesterday when he was here. Yeah, so he's going to run over to Home Depot, and then hopefully, I'm just not going to hold my breath. I'm not going to hold my breath. I'm just going to I'm going to distance myself from the situation, let the play develop, because I don't want to be heartbroken for a 4th time. So I'm just going to walk away slowly and just think good thoughts. Think good thoughts with me, would you? Think good thoughts. And Penny and Cooper are having a fit in here. They just keep losing their minds barking, but I have to keep them separate. Penny, be quiet. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. And they're coming right back, so there's no sense in bringing them out. But yeah, attempt number 4 to install the dishwasher. It is Whew, it's a wild ride, guys. But, you know, everything's fixable. Everything will happen. It'll be okay. That's what I just keep telling myself to get through. That was so fast. They got back. They had a $7 part. I'm trying to work on something in my office, and he goes, "Okay, we're done, sweetheart." He keeps calling me sweetheart. But it's in, and we tested it. It ran. It got hot. We tested the hot water heater in both the sink and everything else, and it's done. It only took 4 tries, and this guy was super helpful, so I definitely got his business card. Oh my gosh, you guys, I don't even believe it. I don't believe it. I gotta let the kids out now because they're like freaking out. Don't look at my floor. I still gotta fix that. Don't you just love a happy ending?